I am leaving Vshojo. Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by Vshojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from Vshojo. I know that this is a lot, and it's...
Okay, so also I'm gonna say this as well. I don't think it's just the foundation that they have not paid. Judging by what she said, I believe $500,000 is supposed to go to the organization or the foundation, the Immune Deficiency Foundation. And she also said that she is owed money. So in that sense, I feel like every single cent that she managed to raise for the charity, and also I think she was supposed to receive some of that funds. Vshojo, in my opinion, I think they took everything. They didn't even want to pay her, and that's insane because Iron Mouse is basically their biggest creator. Like without Iron Mouse, Vshojo is nothing. I'm not in the VTuber space, so I'm not exactly sure, but she's that big to the point that I know who she is. There's actually only 2 people in the space that I know because they're super popular. Oh, there's 3, I think. So Iron Mouse is one. Gawar, or now she's known as Saba. Also, she had an issue when she left Hololive, I think. Yeah, she also had an issue with them. It's always these companies, man. They are taking advantage of these girls who, in my opinion, they are basically streaming behind an avatar because that's more comfortable for them, because they're not confident to show themselves and they don't want to be known. And that's fine. You know, people are allowed to do that. So people like this, usually most of the time, they get taken advantage of because they don't really fight back, or they don't really want to get into any issues or troubles because they like to be anonymous on the internet. And companies like this know, so most of the time they would reach out to these girls and give them horrible contracts. In my opinion right now, even though Hololive has not been the best, Vshojo is the worst, because the moment you scam a charity, I think you are unsalvageable, scum of the earth. I believe that. You should go to jail. The maximum amount of evil, apart from, you know, terrorism and stuff like that, I think is scamming a charity, right? And Vshojo, they should not exist as a company. I don't trust any content creator-based orgs out there, because if you look at the entire structure and the people who are in charge of these orgs, apart from the orgs that are created by content creators, by the way. Yeah, but majority of these orgs, they are run by businessmen who have no clue what they're doing in this space. Like Twitch, in my opinion. They're a bunch of old people who have no idea how content creators work. They don't know how communities work and stuff like that. They are in it for the money. They only see the numbers, but they don't really care about anything else. So that's why I never trust any of these creator orgs out there that's not created by creators. I think if there's any of these orgs who ever engage you, you know, you should be always very aware. Read your contracts well. And if you don't like what you see, you should just never sign and never let them guilt trip you, you know.
It's very important for me to be honest with all of you. I really want to tell you everything, but unfortunately right now, I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold. So one day,
I'd like to hear when she can say
the full story.
When she can speak out, that's what I'll be there to cover
for
it
now,
for sure.
I just need to let you know that I will no longer be a part of Vshojo.
Get out
if
my
you
face.
give me a moment of
Okay.
your time, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I know for a lot of people right now that this might be the first time you're ever watching me. I became a VTuber because I really wanted to make friends. I was very lonely due to the fact that I have a primary immune deficiency disease called CVID. I basically have a low to near non-functioning immune system, which means I get sick a lot, and it caused me to remain isolated for long periods of my life. So then I found streaming, and I thought about giving it a try because I wanted to see if I could make some friends online, because I honestly couldn't ever leave my room. I never really expected to grow an audience or anything. It was one of the last things on my mind. I just thought that I would stream to, you know, 5 to 10 people and just hang out from time to time, make some friends, play games, and just continue on with my life. But unfortunately, I was too scared to stream with my face. So a friend of mine recommended that I try an app called FaceRig that would allow me to use an anime avatar to stream.
Basically, that's sort of like my Iron Mouse's story. It's because she couldn't leave her room and she had that immune deficiency thing. She found streaming and she was also very insecure about herself. Unironically, honest, in my opinion, and what I've seen or what I understand from most VTubers, they're basically very low confidence people. So this is where all those VTubing orgs, they take advantage of girls like this, right? They take advantage of streamers like this. They always promise them the world. Like they'll say like, we will basically take care of everything for you. It is very lucrative for people like Iron Mouse, you know, back in the day when she, you know, lack of confidence, she doesn't really know what to do. She doesn't want to speak to anybody. She's just very socially awkward. And it is quite assuring to people like this that, you know, that there's an org that is backing you up, that is getting everything for you basically. And all you need to do is just stream. It is very lucrative, actually. They just need to have the right cute voice and maybe some of a personality, which over time they can show. There is a positive when you join orgs like this in that aspect where you don't need to do any PR. But also, I believe that the way the payouts, you know, happen for these VTubers are very, very scummy as well. They get paid literally crumbs for their work. And also, like the companies literally control everything that comes into their finances, like their YouTube ad revenue, their Twitch revenue, everything revenue based goes through the company first before they send it to you. And that's where they eat back all the money that they believe that they are owed. Yes, in some aspect, you should be sharing some of that, you know, revenue that you get because the company is backing you up. But sometimes the company takes more than the creator itself, which is not right in my opinion. Yes, the company has helped you, and yes, you know, they have brought you up. But tell me this: who makes the creator? That is the big question. You know, VTubing is very much like an idol because the contracts are very similar to an idol. They're also very, very controlled. They cannot do controversial things. They cannot speak. If a company doesn't like a particular topic, the VTubers are not allowed to do it because if they do it, they'll get in trouble. You're basically in a jail cell, you know, but it's a very beautiful jail cell and there's a lot of things to do in the cell, but you're still in the cell. They probably know the people that they'll get and they have potential because these girls would not fight back and they'll eat whatever they give them, basically. So yeah, creators are the ones who will carry the company in the end, but these companies are so delusional to the point that they somehow think in their stupid minds that people follow the creator, not to follow the creator, but because they love the company, which is wrong. As I said, majority of these people who run the companies, they don't understand the creator space. They don't understand the audience. They don't understand anything. All they understand is that they have consumers, they have cash cows, they have whales, and they are paying the company, basically.
That's how I started VTubing. It took me a while to take it seriously and even begin to think about maybe being able to grow a community and even make this a career. I think I really started to take it seriously around the time when I was approached to join Vshojo, and it was through Vshojo that I was able to grow into the Iron Mouse that I am today. When I was approached in 2020 and asked to join Vshojo, it seemed like a good idea, but I honestly did not know if I could ever be a corporal VTuber because I felt like I just couldn't. In my mind, I saw myself as unhireable, which is why streaming worked for me. I had no boss, no strict rules, I had no hours, no expectations. It was all up to me, and due to the fact that I have lived my life chronically ill and being unable to do much of anything, I just felt like there was no way that anyone would ever take me or want me. For a while, I was struggling to make a decision because I was afraid about my anonymity and afraid about trusting people because I felt like every time I put my trust in people, it always ends in grief for me. So I was worried about expectations and 1,000,001 other things. But I ultimately decided to join Vshojo. It really pains me that I am unable to fully explain why leaving.
I was about to pause. I'm going to say something immediately. Let's just be clear. Before they approach you, they would have done research on you already. And these people, this is where they excel. They probably sort of understand the kind of personality you are. And then when they have done analyzing you, then they'll send their people to come over there to talk to you, to hit all the talking points that you like to listen to. They will manipulate you, basically. They will say the nicest, most sugar-coated shit. It does look like shit. It does, smell like shit. But when you eat it, it's sweet because they know what to say to you. And then you're confused because it seems like, they talk to you like you're the best thing that's ever happened to the company, that they want you, that you are needed to them, that they will love you as one of their own, blah, blah, blah. All that sugar-coated garbage. But let's be honest right now. They don't give a fuck about you. And that's the truth. They only see you as a way to get money to grow their business. I think this is the first thing that every single creator out there needs to understand. The small creators, right? Big creators, they already know what's going on. They probably even run their own orgs. But for smaller creators or mid-sized creators or people who are just starting out, who maybe have been approached by this type of orgs, they only care about the money they can get out of you. You're not family to them, and at the end of the day, if anything ever goes wrong, they will throw you under the bus first. I mean, I can't blame Iron Mouse for trusting him at the start because, like I say, she was a very, she has low confidence. She's unsure. She doesn't know much about all this. And someone just comes up to her corporation, comes in, basically sweeten her up, throw all that sugar on her, all that honey, makes her feel good, makes her, feel like she's needed. Because she said that she felt that nobody wanted her and she was unhireable, and she thought that more or less that nobody would ever need her for anything good. But here comes good old company, Vshojo or whatever organization. We love you, you family. I mean, they know their talking points, right? And they know you already and the type of person you are. So they will always tell you the right things, and this is where they manipulate and they catch you off guard. If you're looking to join this org, I'm not telling you not to skip every single org that comes up to you that you feel like joining, but I'm just saying, if you want to join this org, you must always remember that you need to defend yourself, and you're there so that you can make use of them as well. It has to be a two-way thing. They are basically there to use you, to wring you off everything they can get out of you, and you should do the same back to them, so that this relationship can be purely of business and no one gets manipulated. Everybody wins. That's the only way I think that you should be doing with an org, is when you yourself as the creator also make use of them when they make use of you.
But for right now, here's what I am allowed to share with you. I would always be told how important I was for the company.
Yep. This is what I'm going to tell you.
And I was always told that
this is what I wanted to tell you guys about.
In order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear, it put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me, to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody. I felt responsible for staff and talent alike. And I felt like if I didn't do this, and if I didn't stay, I was hurting everybody and I was destroying everybody's life. But this didn't feel right with me, and I began to feel extremely uncomfortable. As my viewers know, privacy has always been one of my biggest concerns. I've had a lot of scary experiences in my life, so one amazing thing for me was the fact that Vshojo handled all my payments, and it meant that I never had to give out any of my personal information, so that was always a blessing to me. As time went on, I decided that I wanted to try to start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over my own finances. This is what led me to this point.
So, I think if someone watches this video, they'll probably think like, wow, this guy is such a doomer. He hates everything. He he thinks that all orgs are bad, or everything that he talks about is just bad, 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 bad. That's not exactly what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that you need to be very careful, and you need to understand that when you go out there, it is every man and woman for themselves. You cannot throw 100% of your life to a company or to an organization or whatever it is and not work for yourself as well. You know, all this manipulative stuff and all this BS, it's all too familiar with me. It does hit home because, long story short, when I first came out of college, my goal was to always join charitable organizations. My dream company was to join WWF. I loved animals. I wanted to, do good when I, finally reached the workforce. I wanted to do something that was meaningful. If I wanted to enter the professional working space, it must be for something that I want to do or something positive in the world. And I was that naive kid, back in the day. So my first job was basically I joined an NGO, which I will not name. They did the same thing. They know my talking points. They know me as a person. They know what I like. They know why I do what I do. And every time when I wanted to leave, or if I felt like I needed to speak out about what they were doing when I thought it was wrong, if I wanted to give my input, or if I just didn't like what they were doing, or if I had some pushback, they will always, use that talking point. They would say stuff. The same thing that what Vshojo said to Iron Mouse. It's basically the same talking point. You're not loved by the company. They don't really care about you, honestly.
Throughout the years, Connor and I have raised around $4 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The majority of the money raised is through Tiltify at events like the Cyclothon, the charity auction, and other miscellaneous events that we've had. However, because of the success of my first subathon, I decided to donate half the earnings of my following two subathons to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The first time I tried this, it worked great. Over 200,000 people supported me, and because of that, we raised over $329,350 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Because the money came from my Twitch revenue instead of a Tiltify link, it required Vshojo to make the donation on my behalf. They promptly sent the payment, and the subathon was a huge success. So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming, and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers.
That is nuts.
And breaking the all-time sub record.
300,000 subscribers.
But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I once again asked Vshojo to make the donation on my behalf, but unfortunately, still a year later, Vshojo has not paid the charity. The Immune
Insane. 1 year later, after receiving all that money, the kids in the foundation, them, right? Let's take all the money and buy ourselves a new yacht. I don't know how I would live with myself if I knew that I was going to scam a charitable organization. Human beings are very, very fucking rotten. In a nutshell, the money does go a long way. No matter how small and no matter how big, it does help. So yeah, I just cannot fathom or cannot understand how somebody, a human being with moral values, maybe not humans anymore, maybe they're just demons, but I can't understand how they can live themselves out of this, but it's just, human beings are the worst.
Deficiency Foundation means the world to me. Connor and I have both spent a ton of energy, time, and resources raising money for charity. And we're both so proud to be able to say that we've raised nearly $4 million for charity. We almost always raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. They help people with primary immune deficiency diseases, or PI, which are inherited disorders where a part of the body's immune system is missing or doesn't function properly, which makes people like me more prone to infection. And this includes over 450 different conditions. The Immune Deficiency Foundation is a charity that is near and dear to my heart and has a particular significance in my life. When my health first started getting really bad, the Immune Deficiency Foundation helped me immensely when I really had nowhere else to turn. I was terrified, I was lonely, and I was confused. I honestly didn't really know what was going on, and I never ever want anyone else to go through that. This entire situation has broken me. I just wanted to do something good and to give back to a community that helped me. But unfortunately, that's not the case. As much as I would like to continue to talk about this, unfortunately, I can't. So, to recap, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid.
Yeah.
And most importantly,
It's
the
more
Immune
than
Deficiency
500,000. I'm
Foundation
very sure.
is owed over
It's
half a
way
million
more.
dollars from
Yep.
Vshojo.
So she's talking
I
about
really wish that I could tell you more.
literally talking about two different things. One for the foundation and one for her that she was unpaid. That is crazy. I'm just gonna again, why would you backstab your biggest creator? Like, she's basically the foundation of your company. Like, why would you do that? Why would you break the foundation of your company just for what? $500,000? Is that really worth everything? Short-term gains will not bring you future business. There is no short-term gains. There's only straight-up destruction when you decided to scam your biggest creator and when you decided to scam a charity. There could have been many other ways. If you failed because you mismanaged your funds, you don't belong in this space. You should shut the fuck down. If it's just because maybe something bad happened, you could have reached out to all your VTubers. You could have run maybe a charity stream or somewhere, a fundraising stream to keep the company up and running. At this very point, no matter what Vshojo does, no matter what they do, no matter how they try to repent, they are done. It's not a matter of how they will come back. It's just a matter of when they're shutting down. I think this is totally the end of them. They are never coming back from this. They will never recover. Now, I'm also very biased. I know this has just came out and Vshojo has not spoken about their side and stuff. But whatever they're going to say, in my current opinion, I will still look at it objectively. But whatever they're going to say, it's going to be this typical corporation puff piece. They're just going to lie out of their teeth. I will not believe until they show actual proof of particular things, which I think is probably not going to happen. They will probably try to brush this off and say that she's a bad actor. But if they're going to say that she's a bad actor, that she lied, they need to show proof, hard evidence that Iron Mouse has lied and this was all fake and actually they were innocent. But I highly fucking doubt that will ever happen because they mismanaged the funds and they did not pay out the charity. Right? That's the big point. They have scammed. Even though if they paid out to the charity right now and if they paid Iron Mouse back, I would still say the company is done. Only when they get caught, then they paid out. This is it. They're done. It's just a matter of what their responses is and how bankrupt they're going to be and who's going to jail. That will be the future things that we'll be covering.
But right now, I have been advised to wait for legal proceedings. As of right now, I am an independent VTuber. I am at a loss of what to do right now. I'm kind of processing everything. I'm very sad and very confused. Once again, I want to apologize to the Immune Deficiency Foundation and to my community who has shown so much support to me. I also wanted to say that all the ad money made from this video will go towards the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. Like I said, I really haven't had much time to process this. But below the video in the description box is a link to a donation fund for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Yeah, you guys should donate to that.
Made through Tiltify
we're linking down in my description as well.
That link is also there if you've heard about this and would like to support the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Sometime this month, I plan on doing a special live stream in order to raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I hope to have a ton of friends joining me, and hopefully there'll be a lot of singing and a lot of fun and just a day full of happiness. I just honestly really want to show that after all of this, that VTubing is a force for good. So thank you guys so much for all the support, and Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And once again, I want to say that I am truly sorry. Okay,
Yep.
goodbye.
Like